Our next speaker is Gina Newlon. She's a member of the Cathedral of St. Joseph and the wife of 3 children. And she's also very concerned about religious liberty.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. When I was asked to speak today, I was honored and yet very surprised. I have no public title, no special credentials, but this is a significant time in American history, and the time to speak up is now. If I were alive during slavery, I would have joined the Underground Railroad. If I were alive during Nazi Germany, I would have hidden Jews. If I were alive during the Civil Rights Movement, I would have ridden the freedom buses. Those events seem like such exciting and noble causes. The leaders of those movements are now heroes, but at the time, they were hated and ridiculed, some killed. Their common thread was persecution. Full-blown persecution doesn't happen overnight. It starts with a mandate. Do we honestly think that the era of persecution is long gone? Or have we become too comfortable and too busy in our own day-to-day lives to see what is happening to the consciences of those who wish only to do the will of God? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of putting my convictions and my passion for the truth to the side, thinking, who am I? I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Who would listen? There's nothing I can do. It must give Satan so much joy to see us feel so helpless. For those of you here, you realize that our religious freedoms are at stake and that this is probably the beginning of the end. Most people know about the HHS mandate and that the church is against it, and that the Catholic Church is against contraception. But most do not understand why. I know I didn't always feel this way about contraception. So in this, there is no condemnation. There are 3 things that changed my mind. 1, all hormonal contraceptives are abortifacients, which mean that breakthrough ovulation can and does occur. When the egg is fertilized, all hormonal contraceptives have a second line of defense, which is starving the rapidly growing embryo from nutrients by making the womb inhospitable for life. The embryo dies, and the mother has no idea that she was ever even pregnant. I had to come to this shocking realization that I, a pro-life activist, had probably at one time aborted unknowingly. Number 2, the pill and other hormonal contraceptives are class 1 carcinogens, meaning it is directly involved in causing cancer. But if you're like me, then you're saying, no, how can this be? Wouldn't the government stop the production of the pill? How many Americans died because of another class 1 carcinogen called tobacco smoke before the truth came out? Ask the FDA why there isn't a warning sign on the pill dial, just like there is on a pack of cigarettes. It's all about money. The same pharmaceutical companies that make the pill are the same pharmaceutical companies that we turn to for our cancer treatment drugs. But they wouldn't do that, right? How can the church participate in the killing of the same people that they're trying to save, body and soul? They cannot. But the mandate says they must. Number 3, as if there weren't reasons enough to throw out the pill, I was introduced to the theology of the body. I came to understand God's plan for our bodies, our sexuality, and the marital bond. I had a newfound appreciation for my fertility and realized that it was a gift from God. I decided to trust God's will for my life and not my own. I reflected on, thy will be done, not my will be done. I decided to not just be pro-life, but open to life through natural family planning. In this war against women, it's important to remember that not all women want contraceptives, let alone free contraceptives. How long have Christians heard, separation of church and state, don't bring your church into state affairs, but now they can bring the state into church affairs? If we must live in a society that promotes choice, even when it comes to life or death, then shouldn't we have the choice to live by our own moral convictions? If there were one area that I wish as conservatives would conserve less on, it would be our voice. Our voices aren't heard loudly as the others. We tend to make the gentle and passive approaches to letting our opinions be known to the world. But as the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, let's get squeaky. In fact, let's let our wheels blaze sparks down the road so that we do not go unnoticed by any passerby. We must unite as God's army and protect what is inherently ours. Many of us rely solely on prayer to change the evil ways of the world. It wasn't prayer alone that helped the prophet Jonah convert the people of Nineveh. He had to step outside of his comfort zone, just like me here today. We have to start planting seeds. No matter how small of a seed of doubt you plant in someone's mind, you are giving God an opportunity to work his mysterious ways into their heart. The truth will keep America free, and true freedom starts with our conscience rights. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. I hope you continue stepping outside your comfort zone.